Hey everybody, I'm Deon, a director here at New Vision Film, and today I'm with.
Matthew Williams. I'm an actor and starting off as a writer.
Today we're going to be doing our classic movie rewind. This is where we go back to the 80s and 90s and pull out some really great movies. Today we're going to be talking about Boomerang. This one stars Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens, Halle Berry, David Allen Greer, Grace Jones,
Johnny Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon, Martin Lawrence. This is a packed cast, a great cast, by the way. So right off the bat, within the context of this movie, if you were Marcus, are you gonna go Robin Givens, Halle Berry, or Strange? Be honest, because you look like a Strange guy. You look like a Strange guy.
I was kind of thinking Strange at first. However, I will say that he made the right choice at Halle Berry. He made the right choice at Halle Berry overall. Yes.
No, you didn't think Strange wouldn't have brought the best out of him?
I think she might have brought the best out of him, but also the worst too. So I don't know if he would have wanted to take that with, if it would have been a good trade-off.
And let me tell you something, man. Strange, that character, Grace Jones played that character so well. The French accent, the over-the-topness, the boldness of that character, man, she did that so well. I watched this movie again last night, and I forgot how great she was in that role, how she embodied it. And the commercial for Strange that... What's his name? Nasty Nelson. He brilliant. The commercial, man, it was so cringy, and she did such a great job in delivering all the cringiness of this commercial, man. Yeah, I watched it last night and forgot how much I enjoyed watching it. It's been maybe 2-3 years since I've seen it, so I kind of forgot about all those really great parts. But yeah, watching this again last night was a treat. One of the things I loved about this movie was the character development, especially Halle Berry's character, how she started off this movie very, very shy, very timid, almost behind the scenes. Then as the movie develops, you see her character coming more and more to the forefront, to her being the main pivotal character of all the other characters, and Eddie Murphy's character actually coming after her and chasing after her. Yep. So that was one of the things. What are some of the things you liked about it?
Johnny Witherspoon. All of his comedy, although he was
bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Coordinate.
Got to coordinate inside with the mushroom and everything. You got to coordinate. Even though he had a small part, that's how he did a beautiful job in taking that small part and making it memorable.
That right there, that was he was in the movie, 3 minutes?
Yes.
Everybody remembers that scene. Listen to you actors. Small parts can create big characters. Yes. He turned that small part into a career. And he's had classic lines in every movie he's been in. So don't hit on small parts. Exactly. Turn it into a big part, okay?
Yes. Another part for me was, I would say, going into the shop.
Yeah.
Martin, David Allen Greer,
yep.
Eddie Murphy, going over to, I think he said Martin was buying a blazer or something to that effect.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's buying a blazer.
And obviously at that moment in time, like we talked about a little bit, it's still prevalent in today's time.
Yeah, very relevant.
Going on, in that scene.
You can put that scene in any movie right now and it'll still be just as relevant. And the foresight they had to, because again, this is a romantic comedy. They didn't have to put that in there, but they decided to anyway, to let the audience know this is a funny movie, but we understand what's going on when it comes to black people going inside these high-end stores. I don't know, but that's happened to me. I've been in stores and gotten followed around, gotten, almost harassed by the shop attendants and things like that. So I love the fact that they wrote that scene and the producers didn't take it out. It stayed there in all of the cuts of the movie.
That's the big thing for me, is that it was not cut out because it's relevant. It's something that they thought were relevant enough to put in the film to show, like you said, romantic comedy, but they wanted to show that, and it played within the context of the overall script. So it was beautiful on all sides of it for me.
Another scene that stood out to me was when Strange's entrance. I forgot how over the top. I'm going to be talking about her the whole time. I forgot how immaculate she was in this movie. So this helicopter, they're at this big event where they're unveiling their new head of this campaign for this perfume. She comes in a helicopter. They lower her down in this container. You don't see who she is at first. The music starts playing. The container opens. She busts out on a chariot with a whip. Just going bananas. I mean, absolutely grand. This was like a Batman entrance. This is the kind of entrance we see from Batman villains and things like this. So she rolled up and she steals every scene she is in. And again, She isn't one of the lead actors. She's a supporting actor, but she owned and stole every single scene she was in, man. I love that character.
Yeah,
to this day.
I mean, Grace Jones is absolutely amazing in that movie. 100%.
And you may not know this. Bishop Noel Jones, famous preacher, they are siblings. That's his sister, Grace Jones and Noel Jones. Yeah,
I did not know that.
That is his sister.
What?
Yeah. Would you change anything about this movie for a 2022 audience?
Let me think. I don't know if I would change any scenes.
No?
No, I don't. I know some of them were cringy.
Yeah, a little cringy.
I'm pretty sure we're on the same path as in regards to which ones the cringe we were talking about.
There were like 2 or 3 of them in there. Yeah, a little cringy.
And I won't give it away either.
No, go watch it.
But I will say that I would keep it the same because I think it plays into
where we were at that time.
Where we were at that time, and it gives the people of this generation to kind of a flashback too.
Yeah, you have these 3 guys, best friends, and of course one of the guys is in love with this one woman. No. The other guy, he's kind of just dating her, not feeling the fact that I think she said that she wanted to have kids. I think a whole bunch of kids. Yeah. He wasn't into that, so that kind of turned off. That one thing, and it was a wrap to that. Yeah. She beats Eddie Murphy's character. Marcus falls in love with Marcus. Marcus falls in love with her. And now we have this love triangle. And how they dealt with it was great. Because now, this day and age, brothers shooting each other. There's going to be a fight.
It's going to be more.
Something. There's going to be a whole lot more than a conversation. So I love how they handled that in this movie. Man. I mean, there were some hurt feelings. No punches were thrown. No guns were brought.
No.
They just talked it out. That was that. Now, again, it may play out a bit different this day and age, but this should be the goal anytime you have conflicts with your brothers and things like this. Another thing, Martin Lawrence being the mediator in all of this, him, just talking to his friends and trying to help, and he didn't take anyone's side.
No, he didn't.
But he knew Marcus was a hot mess.
He did.
He knew Marcus was a hot mess.
Marcus was a hot mess. Everybody knew Marcus was a hot mess.
I love the fact as well, Marcus going back and forth about where he wanted to be. I love that they showed the realness of that.
He just needed a little time to, kind of work out the kinks.
No, listen.
He needed a little time. And thankfully for him, she was open to giving him the time to work it out. But
no,
No.
This was in the 90s. Today, first thing that's gonna happen, she gonna post on Facebook. This fool thinking he gonna go back and forth with me and his boss.
Immediately.
It's gonna be all over Facebook. All her friends are gonna chime in. By the time he comes back and try to see her, she's gonna have 100 comments on her post telling her he's trash.
You're a fool if you go to him.
If you go back to him and all that stuff.
Don't look at him again. And all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Most of them are right. That was trash behavior for him to kind of move back and forth like that. Yes. Back and forth between those two. But it's Halle Berry and Robin Givens, though.
That's
it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
It is a challenge, bro.
One thing I would change, now that you mentioned that, to give the kids today of everything you just explained, that would be the one thing I would change, is that once that happened, to show how it would play out in today's world in regards to the social media.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, that would change up the dynamics of their overall relationship. Because now, like you say, you got 100 comments, you got 5 or 6 different people commenting, telling you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Whereas back then, they had their group of people who they communicated with, and it wasn't public knowledge. They were able to just work on their own problems.
Yeah, you couldn't put your relationship on Facebook for everybody, which is very common. If that happened today, that whole thing would be on Facebook. Someone was posting something.
Yeah.
If there was anything I would change, aside from the cringy jokes, I would give Martin Lawrence's character just a bit more layers. In my opinion, I think that he was underused in this. But at the same time, they had so many heavy hitters in this cast. Yeah. Someone, was inevitably going to be underused. And the guy, Nasty Nelson. He had some great one-liners in this movie, man.
Nasty Nelson.
That's me.
These wasn't no sausages in this one.
And the things he would do with his face, he was great in this movie. The scene where Strange takes off her panties in the boardroom, pulls it off, puts it on the researcher's head. This is the essence of sex. Good Lord. So takes the panties, then throws it on the conference room desk, and they're flicking around with their pencil. And Nelson, he's just thrilled about all of this.
Unbelievable.
They don't make him like this anymore. They don't make movies like this anymore, and I'm sad about it.
Oh man, Jennifer Martin being next door,
The nosy neighbor.
the nosy neighbor,
Just
always
loud.
commenting. Every time he has a girl coming over, she's consistently trying to ruin. And the backstory to that is they used to date. They had some type of relationship at one point in time. So she was a little bit bitter, a little bit salty.
A little bit.
I'm trying to give her some credit. You know, she's a little more than a little bit salty.
Yeah, that was a
Every
lot
single
of
time.
salty every time, every single time.
Yeah, man.
That was a fresh relationship. He probably broke up with her this year. I loved Layla Rashaan was in this. We got to see Layla Rashaan, and I don't know if you noticed this, but so I saw this dynamic going on in this movie that is only relevant like right now. So you have Layla Rashaan, who's making out with Marcus, played by Eddie Murphy. Cut to 2 years ago, Layla Rashaan is married to Anton Fuqua, who allegedly had an affair with guess who? Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. But yeah, that is an interesting. No, I don't. They weren't, because I'm pretty sure they weren't married at that time. But just seeing him making out with her, and then her married to Fuqua, and then Fuqua having allegedly a thing with Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. So yeah, just one of the things. I'd probably change that.
I definitely changed that.
Yeah, I would probably change that somehow, some way. But she did a great job in the movie as well.
She did. Another small part, but memorable.
Memorable
moment.
Yeah. Do you think they can make same script this movie today? When this happened?
Yes.
You think so?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
God.
I do. Here's the thing. I might get in trouble for this, but I feel like this. I feel like the stories have to be told. I feel like when it comes to art, when it comes to us as artists, as actors, directors, so forth and so on, it's part of our duty to tell these stories.
True.
There are certain stories that back in the day that may not play today, if you will, but I think like how do we have to keep the integrity of film alive by doing the stories justice.
True.
You know, it would be like telling a story on racism and nobody using the N-word. Yeah. Or a movie about slavery and nobody whipping anybody because somebody might be offended by it today. Yeah. I think it does. I think it does more of an injustice to the film, but also to us as individuals.
True.
That's just me.
I think this would be a hard sell.
It would be very hard.
This would be a hard sell, particularly maybe 3 or 4 scenes that I have in mind that I'm thinking of. Yeah, a hard sell. What do you think about the ending of the movie? Now, he didn't put Halle Berry's character through all kinds of stuff. He shows up at her job. I have done this before. I done messed up. Show up at the woman's job and all that stuff, trying to make my case. I have done that. Have you ever done that? Has that ever been you?
No.
Well, I must have. I have done that. Guys, don't do that, okay? Don't do that. But I have made that mistake. But he goes to her job with 2 kids from her school, and she seems upset at first. He says some nice words. She takes him back, and they walk up to the sunset happily ever after. In 2022, we're in the age of self-love. I'm the prize. Yes. Do you think that would have played out like that in 2022? You show up at the job after you done cheat on this woman, after she done, giving you her all, you cheat and trying to come back. Do you think that would have played out like that?
It definitely would not have played out like that. It definitely, there would have been some messages. There would have been some photos of this person is up here doing this. Look at this. I definitely think that would have played out differently. Yeah. It could have still ended the same, but how they got to the ending, I definitely think would have played out much differently.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree. Yeah. But this is a romantic comedy, though. So I for the ending, I wasn't expecting anything other than what happened. But I wanted to be entertained by the ending, and I was. Yeah. But yeah, in I think it would have gone much different. She probably would have cussed him out a little bit. Yeah. She may have taken him back, but it would probably would not have gone that smooth. But again, this is in the context of the romantic comedy genre. But I had a great time watching it. And I would definitely recommend this to a 2022 audience. This is still a great 100%. Movie. I watched it again last night, and I forgot how awesome Eddie Murphy is. His comedic timing. And a lot of this stuff was ad-lib. You can go and look up the script and see how a lot of his lines were ad-libs. A lot of the David Allen Grayer's lines were ad-lib. And John Witherspoon. They ad-libbed a whole bunch of stuff. And there were some scenes where those laughs were actually natural laughs. Those weren't scripted laughs. So whatever was going on was so funny, they captured, some of those laughs there. But I would definitely recommend this movie to a 2022 audience. Please go see this. It's a great movie, one of Eddie Murphy's best in my opinion. It's a romantic comedy. It's an easy watch. I think it's about 2 hours long, but go check it out. But Matt, what else you got going on? You're an actor, you're writing right now, and soon to be director. Tell us about some of this stuff.
Okay, well, my first short film I'm working on right now. I'm finishing up the final processes on that in regards to pre-production, and I hope to start shooting on that before the summertime starts.
Nice.
I'll be shooting that. I'll be directing that and writing it as well. So, or already written it.
Now, if you need an AD, sister, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there.
And now it's public. It's public. So now we know. Y'all heard it. All right. So I will be reaching out to him then.
Please do. Please do.
But that's the main thing. I have something else in the works that I'm not at liberty.
He told me about it. I know about it. It's exciting. I can't tell you, but if you're an actor, this is one of those things that you pray for. He can't tell you. I'm not going to tell you, but I can hint. He can't. It's one of those things that you pray for. I am so happy for you. You deserve this. You've been out here hustling for a while.
Thank you.
So this is overdue, and it's a huge blessing. So I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you.
I will say, though, one of the things that has gotten me to this place is right here. He has been an intricate part of the whole process of me being an actor, providing opportunities for actors, being patient with actors. And
you gotta be.
And just constantly working. So I am a product, as always, and new actors, make sure you take note of this, is you're a product of who you surround yourself with. I've been surrounded by people who have always lifted me up, so it's natural that I would get to this place in my life.
Same here, man. Every time you and I sit down, I always get something from it. Every single time you and I sit down, there's always a takeaway. So this is a relationship that's beneficial both ways. And thank you for coming out here today.
Of course.
You want to give them any information on how to reach? How can we reach you? If I was a casting director, how can I reach you?
You can reach me m.williams.actor@gmail.com, or you could contact my agent, BMG. You can contact the Miami, Orlando, or Georgia office to get in contact with me. And from there, you can reach out on Facebook, at MWilliamsActor at Facebook, and the same at Instagram as well.
What information would you give to younger actors coming up? One of the questions I always get from young, especially actors in their teens and early 20s, how do I get those first auditions? What do I do to go from this being a hobby to it being a profession? Give us 4 or 5 things that they would need just to get started.
So acting classes. I recommend getting acting classes, and this is, once again, there's many of ways. Let me say that before I say anything, because I know someone will say, well, that's not the way I'm going to go. There's many ways, but I would say start with acting classes. From there, once you feel, comfortable that this is what you want to do, now get some headshots. From getting headshots and getting your, professional headshots, your resume, professional headshots.
Stop with the iPhone selfies.
It can't be selfies.
Stop with the selfies.
That may work for some projects. It might. However, if you are serious, like you said, taking it from a hobby to a profession, you're going to have professional headshots. Selfies do not cut it. All right. So make sure they're professional. All right. From there, get on the casting networks, get on Actors Access, get your online profiles up. One thing about that, make sure you keep them up to date. Don't just start them out and then a year or two later, you might have grown 5 inches. Now you're 6'5" versus 6 foot, and you haven't updated those things. So that would be
with young actors.
Yeah, it happens a lot. You see it. So, and another thing I would say is understand that this is a business. All right. We as actors, we want to think of it as our art. We want to come and show what we've worked on and do all these things, and that's fine, and that still is an important part of it. But it is a business. You have directors who are spending time, who are spending money, who are spending resources on getting this project finished. So at the forefront of your mind, you should understand that this is a business. If you don't, I'm telling you in advance, it's going to be a much harder journey. Other than that, keep working. Work hard. Don't stop. Like in the downtime, work on writing, work on other aspects that will help you. Because everything about film, whether it be directing, whether it be writing, it plays a part into learning how to be a better actor. So learn as much as you possibly can about film. Be a true lover of the craft, and that in turn will make it something that you truly are passionate about, rather than just showing up to do the thing and then be gone.
Can I add one thing to that?
Absolutely.
Stay humble. Stay humble.
Gosh,
Stay
yes.
away from the big head.
Yes.
Do your best to stay grounded when you start booking roles and things. One of the reasons why I work with the same actors over and over is because of their character when they show up on set. The actors with the best attitude, the ones who show up on time, and the ones who are hungry to learn from the other actors. We have actors like Matt who come on, they socialize, they interact with the other, they're very giving on set. Then we have actors, they don't want a nasty attitude, they're too good to hang with everybody, they hide themselves, no social interaction. And every set is a community. Every set you go on is a community. Let me say that again. It's a community. You have to interact with people. You have to get to know people, because those connections will lead you to your next gig. A lot of times you don't get gigs through agency. You got a gig because someone saw you in something or on set and they said, hey, I like how this guy moves. I like how this girl moves. I want to bring them over here to this project. So please have a good attitude when you come on set, and stay away from the big head. Stay humble.
I have to add to that because you just brought it to mind. I got my first gig from Deon. He saw me. I don't know if you remember this, but he saw me at a Cinerama. I was at Andy McKinney Acting Studio.
Yeah.
He saw me, and if you know Deon, he's very quick. He told someone else, said, hey, get that guy, got an audition, 2 days I think it was, tell him to come. Person came, said just that. I didn't know much about it, got the script later, but then went to the audition, prepared, and ended up getting a role. So always, it is a community. You have to understand that, all right? You will get a lot of your roles just based on your professionalism and showing that you actually are in this to do more than just to get in a role so you can post it. Like the acting community, the community of acting is really big on taking our craft serious, and we want others to be involved in that. But you gotta put in the work. Yeah,
that's another thing I look for. People who really want to put in the work. You want to be an actor for real, or you want to be a celebrity.
Yes.
The actors, the one who want to be actors, they show up on time, know the lines. People who want to be celebrity, they show up with their phone, 100 pictures on set, posting every second of the day. Now, there's nothing wrong with posting pictures online to promote what you're doing, but you posting pictures shouldn't come before you knowing your lines and showing up on time. I'm just saying. But that's just me. But again, thank you for coming out here today.
Always.
I appreciate you, man.
Of course.
Thank you for your work. I'm looking forward to this thing you have coming out that I can't say anything of, but I am so looking forward to it. I am so happy for you, man. Thank you again for coming out here today.
Like I say, anytime I'm here for you.
Absolutely.
You've been there. You've been one of the people who have really pushed and really have been a good mentor, a good person to be around in this career. And it has helped me with confidence to grow, to feel that it is possible to do things that I'm doing now.
Nice.
So I mean that really seriously. I appreciate you. If y'all ever get a chance to work with Deon, come prepared. Like we already said, come prepared. But it will be a great experience because this is somebody who cares about the craft and will help you grow as an actor and will provide those opportunities for you if you obviously do the work yourself.
Yeah. Thank you again for coming.
Of course.
Look out for us next week. We'll be posting another blog in about a week or so. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.
Take care.